everyone, my name is Stephanie Tom, and today I will be talking about convincing humanity to protect the environment. To begin with, I would like to give some background information. In 1984, a hole was found in the ozone layer of the Earth, proving global warming existed. By 2015, greenhouse gas emissions had increased by 40%, and in 2022, a UN report stated that Earth is on a fast track to an unlivable world. But how much have humans impacted this? Well, humans are in charge of greater than 95% of climate change, meaning they are pretty much responsible for the 1 million endangered animals because of agricultural expansion, 300 million civilians at risk of coastal death because of land degradation, and an increase of vector-borne illnesses because of flooding. And the Pew Research Center actually found that protecting the environment was number 17 out of 21 global concerns, meaning that it was a very low priority for humans. And this begs to ask, what are the reasons behind this inaction? Leading me to my research question, which is how could understanding the psychology behind human environmental inaction increase activism? I will be investigating this through the social, scientific, and ethical lenses. Now, the American Psychological Association attributed two main reasons to human inaction. The first was misunderstanding environmental science, and a big part of this is because many scientific journals are not written in an easily readable way by the general public. So, for example, over here, we have this JSTOR article that I use when researching, and it's 16 pages long. You may not know this, but the average attention span of a person is 8.25 seconds. I don't know about you, but I can't read 16 pages in 8.25 seconds, let alone one page. And media also plays a very important part. As Yale found that 82% of Americans did not see climate scientists in media, and when they did, it was a month or less. The next reason was the human mindset that they had a lack of control. DW Planet A conducted many interviews internationally, and they asked the one question, which was, how could we help the environment? And they all came to the same conclusion, which was that they were concerned for the environment, but they felt that their efforts alone could not help. And this was especially true for Americans, as reporter Hannah Fingerhut found that half of Americans felt individually helpless in environmentalism. My thesis is that activism can be improved by using the same psychology to create action. And that psychology is social conformity, which is changing beliefs to fit with others. The best way I can describe this is in an analogy through the tunnel by Doris Lessing, in which a boy defies his mother's orders to play in a different area of the beach with other children. And his mom is right, but he feels a sense of belonging with the other children, which is why he plays with them. To connect this with our topic, the boy, let's say, is a human, the mother is the environmental activism, and the other children that he plays with are the helpless humanity. Despite his moral compass telling him to stay with his mother, he plays with the other children. And with environmentalism, people do nothing, and this continues a cycle of no action. But we can break the cycle by starting at the beginning, before the cycle can even take its course. Thomas and Califf's moral courage and intelligent disobedience stated leaders and followers. If a leader does something, the follower will do that as well, leading me to the first solution, creating relatability. And this can be done through influencers. Because influencers vlog their daily life, that can be a leader. And by doing environmental friendly things, their followers will do so as well. And this allows trends to take off. For example, you may have seen these Hydro Flasks a few years ago. That was a trend started by TikTokers endorsing them. For example, Charli D'Amelio was using them, and a lot of people started doing that after that. However, how many Hydro Flasks do you see now in the hallways? Not that many. They were placed by Stanley House, of course. And because of this, it was a micro trend. And that caused an overproduction of Hydro Flasks, meaning that was ultimately hurting the environment rather than helping it. By using influencers, it will also be hard to reach off-grid communities because they use social media and internet as their platform. Also, connecting emotionally with each and every one of their viewers will be hard because they all have such a range of interests. And by using influencers, we also do run the risk of getting accused of propaganda since influencers are enforcing a certain mindset, and that will give environmentalism a negative connotation. The second solution is increasing accessibility. This broadens the outreach. Open access journals, and Project Gutenberg is a good example of that. Project Gutenberg is a website where you could download articles, scientific ones, free of charge just by using the website. And this educates their audience hopefully this will completely eliminate climate change denial. But many of these websites are nonprofit, and because of that, money is an issue. By broadening outreach, it'll be hard to upkeep every single website. Security is also a limitation. While Project Gutenberg is a very popular website that people use, there are definitely smaller ones. And because of that, they can end up downloading malware or viruses instead of what they actually intended to. And as I previously mentioned, attention is very hard. You can't force people to pay attention. Despite all these difficulties, we can come together individually and restore Earth to the beautiful place it has always been. Thank you so much for listening, and here are my sources.
Okay. So we have some questions for you. What information did you need that you were not able to find or locate? How did you go about trying to find that information?
Well, I found a really great source, which was GW Planet A's interview with several people, and that allowed me to look through other sources from the information they gave me. Like, I got that really great interview, and then from that I was able to get statistics about personal thoughts of each of those people.
Okay. And then lastly, explain the level of certainty you have about your conclusion, solution, or recommendation.
I'm pretty confident in these solutions. While I did show some cons through researching the psychological mindset behind all of this action, I think, especially with the influencers, the society that we have today could greatly be affected by them.
Okay. Thank you very much.